Hey, what's up, 360 Electricians? Welcome back to the 360 Electrician podcast. I'm your host, Jeff, the 360 Electrician, and I am so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're listening because I made this podcast pretty much for one reason only, and that is to help my brothers and sisters. That's you that want to become electrical contractors, and those of you that are already electrical contractors and want to level up in the business. That means making more money and, most of all, have more time to spend with family, friends, vacation, and do the things you want to do. It's pretty much living the lifestyle that you want, but yet still being an electrical contractor. Can that be possible? I don't know. I'm 1,200 miles away, and today I am recording this podcast. It is Saturday, and on Monday, I get on a flight to go back to my brick and mortar in Los Angeles to take care of my mid-size electrical contracting business. And I'm super excited because if all goes well, God willing, I am signing a lot of contracts, some big projects. Now, the cool thing about living in Montana and running my business in California is that my money is not tied in Montana. And so there's a lot of tips and tricks on doing some side hustles and different things. Obviously, the YouTube channel, the podcast, my courses, and all that happens here in Montana. But I'm going to share some of that with you in further podcasts, and we're going to talk about all things electric. So hope you're ready. Put your seatbelt on. Like I always say, we're going to go for a really quick ride on this one. And today's topic, we're going to talk about those contracts, how I got them, and how I think you should establish yourself as an electrician, electrical contractor moving forward. Now, if you're an electrician now, you still got to start establishing yourself so that the day you decide to jump ship and go on your own, I want to make sure you're prepared. And if you're already done that, how are you going to grow from a one-man, two-man helper, right, to a six-man, 10-man show? Well, let's talk about it. You ready? Let's get into the podcast. All right. Well, before we begin, I got to give you a little disclaimer. This podcast right now is sponsored by the 360 Electrician channel. You're going to hear me talk a lot about my courses. I have courses named The Ultimate Paperwork for Electrical Contractors, The Ultimate Marketing for Electrical Contractors, and one-on-one business coaching for electricians that want to be electrical contractors that need the help to start out, and for those electrical contractors out there that just need to talk to someone about the ins, outs, things you can't talk to other electricians at the wholesale house, right? That's what this channel is about. That's what coaching is about. Now, I am happy to introduce very soon, within the next week or two, my solar paperwork course. That's right. You know, if you listen to this channel or podcast on YouTube at the 360 Electrician or at the 360 Electrician podcast on YouTube, you are going to know that I am all in on solar. I think it's the way of the future. We've been doing solar since 2015, but not as a core part of our business, as an add-on, and it has been a blessing. So that's what I want to tell you. Get ready. The way you're going to know when these paperwork courses come out, and a bunch of other courses, by the way, coming out very soon on the website, www.the360electrician.com. The only way you're going to know about it is if you go to my website and you sign up for the email list. Now, of course, I'm going to try to do a good job of letting you guys know on the podcast and our YouTube channel, but you know, it's hard sometimes. YouTube's not going to put up every single video that I make so that you can see it, or hardly on TikTok. We're trying to bust 2,000 on TikTok, so I really would appreciate it if you go to TikTok and just type in the 360 Electrician and smash that subscribe or like button. We'd like to get a little audience on TikTok. Not the biggest fan, being a 51. I'm not, one of you young electricians and one of you gals that have all this talent and you're on TikTok, but it's a medium. I want to get out to you. That's it. That's my sponsorship clause. So let's get into the podcast. So what are we going to get into on this podcast? I want to talk about the projects that I have coming up and kind of the ways that I got it. How did I get these customers? How did I get these clients? It's a big question I get all the time in coaching, is how do I level up to the place where I know I can hire and not worry about it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about relationships, plain and simple. The more people you know, the more people you interact with, the more people that know that you're going to be an electrical contractor or you are an electrical contractor, the odds are the more you're going to get referred. Referrals are golden. Now, I have that course I told you, the Ultimate Marketing for Electrical Contractors. It's really based in referrals. I want you to be the lead, not pay for leads, right? So the way we do that is we talk. I'm a talker. You guys have seen the channel. You've seen the YouTube videos. I'm silly, I'm goofy, but then I'm serious as well. So the reason I do this is because I want everybody to be comfortable with me. I want them to be able to build a trust with me. And most of all, I want them to call me when they need anything for electrical. And so what happened with these jobs that I'm about to go see is the developer is a longtime client that I built relationships with slowly. They priced me out in the beginning just to see what my pricing was. When they thought my pricing was fair, the next step was to give me a couple of jobs and see what the quality was. On a couple of those jobs that the quality was great, there was some problems for my client. And guess what? I was able to solve those problems, right? Inspection problems, maybe some paperwork wasn't done correctly. Maybe there was an issue where they didn't have low voltage and they didn't know what to do, and I came in and saved the day. Not that I did anything for free necessarily, but I saved him from a lot of headaches. So now what happened? We built trust, number one, with him with pricing. He knew that I wasn't going to rip him off. I wasn't going to bill him for anything that was out of the ordinary or outrageous. The second thing was he tried my quality of work. Did we show up? Did we do it good? Did we pass inspections? The third one was when problems happen. Did I throw anybody else under the bus, or just shovel along to somebody else, or gouge him to fix it? No, I took care of those problems. These were not big jobs, people. We're talking about anywhere from $1,500 maintenance repairs on a commercial building to probably one of the biggest jobs at that time would have been $3,000, $4,000 to hook up a forklift charger in one of his warehouses. And then guess what happened? He kept growing. We kept growing. And as we grew, he grew, his jobs started getting bigger. And as his jobs started getting bigger, my company started getting bigger. And now we went from me and a helper to automatically me, a helper, and a journeyman, which I always teach you in coaching. That 3 is the golden ticket for you guys starting out. You want to work on your business, and you need another journeyman and helper to work in your business. And your job in life is to have these guys follow you around and do the work that you're selling. But we'll talk about that in coaching, right? Head to the website. I told you it's going to be this podcast and video, if you're watching on YouTube, is sponsored by the 360 Electrician. And so what happened was, as my company grew and I started growing and I had more people, I was able to accommodate him and his needs. And then, bam, it hit. We had a $160,000 shopping center that he was building. And so we got the contract right away. There was literally no negotiations, you guys. No negotiations. Why? I had built a track record. This guy didn't want anybody else. He knew his budgets. He knew his numbers. He knew from the plumber, the AC, and everybody else. He knew whether my number was going to be ridiculous or if it was going to be right in the zone. We didn't haggle on it. We started right away, and we took care of that project for him. So do you see, does that make sense to you? You need to start building those relationships, and the roots need to get deep. I've told you before, if you're the electrician, and I'm not going to knock you for it, because personally, I don't care. The more you do this, the better for me and everybody else that doesn't. If you swear a lot, and you do, that you drop F-bombs all the time, and you're gangster. I don't know how else to say it. You want to be the tough guy. You want to be whatever the case may be. You want to F this and S that and whatever the case may be. Then here's what happens. When you knock on that customer's door, because that's the kind of clients you want, right? And now you're going to knock on that developer's door, and what are you going to do? Well, hello, how are you? My name is Squeaky Clean Electric, and I'm going to be the best guy for you. No, you're not going to be. You might get in the door, but you're going to be out the door very soon, because as soon as you get in and he surprise walks on a job site and you and your crew are like, "What's up, MNFer? What's up, dude? What's up, girl? Blah, blah, blah." You're done. It's over. You're never going to get a referral. You're not going to get clients like that. I know. You could judge me, say, "Jeff, you don't know what you're talking about." I'm just telling you, be real. I know we're going off on a little bit of a tangent, but when you are real, that's when you find clients that are like you. People are attracted to people that are like them, right? So I want you to get into the mindset where you have to realize you are now in business, okay? If you just want to be that worker electrician that chews tobacco and spits it on the street, dude, go for it. But you're not going to be successful. What do I mean by successful? You're not going to be a successful electrical contractor because of 3 things. 3 things, okay? Number 1, you're not going to last the long haul. You're just not, because you're not going to get the clientele you need to last the long haul. Everybody I'm coaching right now has got it pretty much made. I told them they're in the unicorn stage, right? It's all glitters and unicorn and rainbows, because you're getting work no matter what, because the economy is booming. There's not enough souls out there to get the jobs done. So as soon as that goes away, and now there's plenty of electricians out there because a lot of them lost their jobs and now they're doing side jobs, that is going to separate you, okay? So don't be in the unicorn, okay? You need to do the long haul. The second thing that you need to do to last the long haul is to be consistent. Consistent. Again, when I coach some people and the first question they want to ask is, I don't know how much to charge. And then we go through my step-by-step proven method on the 5 line items, and we repeat the 6 on how you should be charging. And therefore, if there's anything that changes, it's easily plugged into these 5 positions. That way, if a car breaks down or you lose an employee or something happens, you don't have to go back to your Excel sheet and your MBA and try to figure out these detailed numbers. Plain and simple. You follow my step. And so consistency is the key. And what do I mean by that? You've heard me say it before. When I walk up, when I go to the McDonald's in my neighborhood, I don't know what the quick quarter pounder is right now, but let's just say it's $6.99. I don't know what they're selling for. And I go into your neighborhood and I want a Big Mac or a quarter pounder, besides the taxes and some of the regulations and fees, right? In general, the quarter pounder is $6.99. And then if I drive up in my Bentley, I don't have one, but if I drove up in my Bentley, how much is a quarter pounder? $6.99. If you and I walk into it, or we ride our bikes to a McDonald's and want a quarter pounder, $6.99. The consistency there is that they know their pricing. They know what they need to sell at. The key is to try to sell as much of it as possible. This is what gets you through the long haul. You can adjust your pricing. I always tell everybody when we do pricing that pricing is a minimum to stay in the black and to be in business and to never look back. But you're allowed on value, on a pain in the butt customer, on certain difficulties to raise your minimums and fluctuate a little bit, but never go under your minimum. And a lot of guys, sometimes I coach, I go, hey, I just did a 30-minute session. 60% are charging too little, by the way. 20% are charging just right, and 20% are charging way too much or way too much. And when I coach the ones that charge way too much, they go, well, I just did this coaching and I already charge more than you. I don't get it. And I go, did you not listen? You don't know how you're charging. You're just charging because that's the going rate, or I'm getting $1,500 a day as a single guy. Great, because you're in the unicorn stage. And I tell them, what happens tomorrow when the recession hits and everything dries? What do you need to charge then? Well, I'm going to get whatever I can. That's not a business. This is a handyman service, okay? That's an ad on Craigslist when you're not busy, electrician for hire. What we're doing is based on you specifically. The long haul means stay consistent according to you, not your competition. Your competition might have 10 vans leased. They might have a warehouse. They might do $100,000 in advertising a year. That's not you. Yours is, I work out of the garage. I'm in my 20s or 30s. I just started. I use my own pickup truck and I use it for work. Your overheads are lower, but that doesn't mean your numbers are going to be lower per se. They're going to be where they need to be so that you can now go from 1 man to 2 man, 2 man to 3 man, 3 man to 4 man, and unlimited. So you got to start pricing it that way, but according to you, right? According to what you're paying for an employee, not what I'm paying for an employee. It does not matter. And then remember, if you decide there's only 2 people that get the short end of the stick when you drop your price and you're not consistent, that's you and your business. You got to pay your employees. You got to pay Uncle Sam, right? You got to pay your office worker. You got to pay the lease for the van. You got to pay your rent. They don't get short-ended when your customer doesn't pay or wants a discount or you give a discount. It's you and your business. Important? Is that ringing bells in your head? If it is, sign up for coaching. Coaching is going up, by the way, in price. I haven't said that. This is the first time you're hearing it. Coaching is going up April 1st in price. So if you've been sitting on the fence, now's the time. Jump on it. Trust me. The value is 10 times, though. 10 times. Okay. So that's number 2, consistency. So, right? We got number 1. We got number 2. What's number 3? To survive. Number 3 is going to make sure you're diversified, that you have enough of types of work that if one goes down, usually the other will always go up. And when the other one goes down, this one will go up. And if that one goes down, that one go up. You need to diversify. I say you need at least 4 major line items in your business. And you're going to probably think, Jeff, how the heck am I going to do 4? Let me tell you our 4. My 4 line items in my company are solar, gate motors, electrical, and low voltage. Did you get that? solar, gate motors, electrical, and low voltage. Any kind of electrical goes in there. That's commercial, residential, service work, all of that stuff. Low voltage goes in there because we do a ton of low voltage add-on work. It's gravy train on top of the electrical. If you don't do it, do it. Gate motors are probably my most profitable jobs. And of course, solar, because we're diversified. Under solar, by the way, I would put EV chargers and stuff, but that can also go under electrical. So we're diversified to take on anything and everything. And by the way, another thing that you can do that's along with that diversification is the diversification of your staff, your employees. If you hire a journeyman electrician, if they're the kinds that only are going to work with another helper that's the best helper in the world, you might want to think twice. You need to hire a journeyman or a master that's a little open-minded, because here's what I would do. I would hire someone that's in the electrical trade, that wants to be in the electrical trade, that's trainable, that shows up on time, of course, and all that stuff, but has also another 1, 2, or 3 different trades, talents, and anything else that's going to help your business. And what do I mean by that? I've got somebody on my staff that's a full-time painter, a professional painter. He used to be. And now he's an electrical helper. And guess what? When we have to open up drywall and demolish things, he's the one that patches and puts it back. And guess what? I get to charge the customer. Instead of the customer going to someone else, I keep the job within the house, adds another 10, 20% profit in our bottom line. And there you go. Diversification, not only of the work you do, but of the employees you have. Are you getting something out of these podcasts? Are you subscribed? Join. I do these podcasts in between my YouTube channel and in between, of course, running my brick and mortar. I just wanted to give you another quick podcast as I head out in LA. Please visit the main channel, which is at the 360 Electrician on YouTube. Visit us on TikTok and Instagram, and thank you for supporting the channel. We're looking forward, by the way, to being the Mr. Beast of electricians. What does that mean? I've got a bunch of stuff here. I did a wacky video, and Fluke has sent us free stuff, and we're getting meters, and Ranger Design is sending a bunch of free stuff. Some of it's tools, some of it is merchandise. That's all belongs to you, because they would not send it to me if I didn't have a channel consisting of you, the subscriber. 70% of you that watch my videos are not subscribed. And I get it. I don't subscribe either to all the people that I need to subscribe to. But you know what? They never ask. So this time I'm asking, hit that subscribe button if you get anything out of these videos. Don't forget, paperwork's coming up. The way you're going to get that, solar, paperwork for electrical contractors, the marketing, the twofers, the coaching, it's all available on my website, www.the360electrician.com. That's it for this podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, check us out on YouTube, and we will see you on the next one.